ọ̀rọ̀ bàbá yóò máa ṣẹ, ọ̀rọ̀ Jésù yóò ṣẹ o, olótìítọ́ yóò jogún ayé.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. This is a quick message based on the lesson read to our hearing at the Power Day service, which is the book of 2 Corinthians chapter 4, reading from verses 8 to 15. But first we must understand the process and the journey onto resurrection. We were once first prisoners of hope that Christ had now taken us out to take us into the family of God by a means of adoption. Also, the Israelites were also prisoners of hope, brought out of Egypt and to be baptized of Moses at the Red Sea. Then they were taken into the wilderness so that their mentality is separated from a slave mentality, so that they can be brought into their rightful place of inheritance as their firstborns. But let's read verses 10.
Always bearing about in the body.
Always bearing about in the body before resurrection.
The dying of the Lord Jesus.
That we must die.
That the life also of Jesus.
That the life in Jesus Christ after resurrection
might be made manifest in our
might be now evidently showcased in our lives. There must be a showcasing of a new mentality, a new identity, and a new purpose founded in our God. Verse 12.
So then death worketh in us, but life in you.
But first, death must take place in us. We must go through the process of baptism in Christ Jesus, so that 1, our bodies are no longer given unto the lust of our flesh. 2, by the quickening of the resurrection spirits must now take place in our lives, so that our bodies are now given as instruments of righteousness. I.e., one of the instruments is our ears, the ability to hear God's voice and his instruction, and 3, so that our minds are now renewed, coming to full awareness of who we have become, the children of God. Verse 13.
We having the same spirit of faith.
Now we share in the same common faith as Jesus Christ, that all communication between man and God has now been restored, bringing us into fellowship with God. Now, as we are now celebrating or coming into the new year of resurrection, we must first examine ourselves. We must first measure ourselves. As the Bible teaches us in Psalm 90 verses 12, we now should number our days to see if we still obtain in wisdom. Therefore, we must measure the heart of our obedience in this instruction given in time, to see if we have now showcased the power of resurrection in our lives, that our minds are renewed, we now have an identity, and we now have a purpose. I pray that these words will bring us to a common reality of the truth in God, and allow our lives to showcase the glory of God for the manifestation of his will. May God bless us all. In Jesus' name.